Hi guys. Welcome into Rover Sports. I have a little microphone today on this side of me, and just wanted to talk a little bit of football. Wanted to talk a little bit about last night's Monday night game. Wanted to talk about Eli Manning rumors, a lot of different stuff. Probably going to pop on here for about 15 minutes. Hey Brooks, how are you? I wanted to talk about Patrick Holmes and Ryan. It was an unbelievable game yesterday. I have to say, man, it was so cool. Brooks, oh my gosh, how are you, my friend? It is great to see you. I did not hear that Davis Webb was going to the Bucs or the Browns, but I think it would be a good landing spot for Davis Webb because I look at Davis and I think that he has a lot to offer in this league. I still think he's a starter, and I would love to see Davis Webb end up in a special place, whether it's Jacksonville or one of those spots. I think it could happen next year. Hey, Ronaldo, how are you, pal? It's great to see you. I wanted to talk about Dez Bryant to the Saints. So, Dez Bryant is working out for the Saints. I don't know why the Saints are doing this because the Saints already have one of the best offenses in the entire NFL. I don't know why you'd bring in a character such as Dez Bryant that is known to complain on the sidelines. You saw how the Adrian Peterson experiment went for the Saints, and it went horribly wrong as Adrian Peterson was coming to blows with Sean Payton on the sideline. Adrian Peterson needed to be shipped out to Arizona immediately. You already have Kamara. You have Michael Thomas. You have really good players. You have Taysom Hill. Who else is a wide receiver on that Saints team that I'm missing? Maybe Meredith's a wide receiver, but you have several other guys. Drew Brees is having one of his best seasons ever. You have Mark Ingram, Kamara. I mean, you don't need a Dez Bryant to get you over the top. You just beat the best team in the NFL or in the NFC. You don't need Dez Bryant to put you over the top. It's a stupid decision by the Saints if they're going to bring him in. They don't need him. You know, Dez Bryant going to the Packers would make more sense because they're a more desperate team. But Dez Bryant going to the Saints, I would really advise it not. So, Ronaldo, they can improve. And Dez Bryant is going to be a net negative because when you look at Dez Bryant and you see him going to the Saints, it's going to be a net negative for the New Orleans Saints because the Saints already have great chemistry. They're already rolling. And then you're going to have such a polarizing figure that you're going to put into your locker room. That doesn't make any sense for team camaraderie. That's going to be a net negative. It really is a downside bringing in Dez Bryant. You saw how Dez Bryant was fighting with Jason Witten. You saw how Dez Bryant called out the locker room and said that he thought half of the Cowboys locker room was against him. He thought that there were Garrett guys and then there were Dez Bryant guys. You don't want that locker room dynamic if you're New Orleans. You're doing great if you're New Orleans. It makes no sense for the Saints. They're poised to win a Super Bowl this year. Yeah, but if you're New Orleans, you don't need to bring in any other players. You already are the best team in the NFL or the best team in the NFC. So for Dez Bryant, I believe Bryant could be good at other locations, but I don't get why the Saints would do it. I just don't think that that's a good decision. What I wanted to talk about, though, is I wanted to talk a little bit about Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes, when I watched him against the Cleveland Browns, and I just did a film review on Patrick Mahomes. I think that Mahomes is having one of the best seasons in the history of the NFL. There is no way that Mahomes can get better next year than he's already at right now. I mean, Mahomes, every single throw is so calculated. Defenses have no idea how to guard against the Kansas City Chiefs. You have the fastest receiver in the NFL. You have what dynamic running back. You have the best tight end in Travis Kelce. And Mahomes can throw the ball in ways where it's a very catchable pass, but Mahomes also can throw from any angle. He's one of the most talented quarterbacks in the history of the NFL. And I think he's having the greatest statistical season that anybody in the NFL has ever had. I think Mahomes might be having the greatest season in NFL history. Now, I don't know how Mahomes is going to do in the playoffs. but in every single game that Mahomes has played, I believe he's thrown for at least 2 touchdowns. He probably is going to be leading the league in yardage. I mean, let's look at Mahomes here. I mean, Matt Ryan's having a pretty good season, but I wanted to go ahead and I wanted to look at Mahomes, and I wanted to look at the stats of Patrick Mahomes for this year, because I think he's having – it cannot be overstated how incredible he's of the season he's having. He's thrown for 29 touchdowns, 3,185 yards thrown this year. And in every single game that he has played this year, with the exception of one, he has thrown for over 300 yards in every single game, which is absolutely incredible statistics. Other than 2 games, which is the Broncos and the Jaguars, he's thrown for 3 touchdowns in every game that he's played. His completion percentage for the season is 66.2%. It is just a remarkable season. The Kansas City Chiefs this year, I think it's their year to make the Super Bowl. When I watched Baker Mayfield play against the Cleveland Browns, I couldn't really get down on Baker Mayfield, because when you play the Kansas City Chiefs, you know, when you have Watkins, Tyreek Hill, and all these guys, you can only hope to contain the Kansas City Chiefs. And Baker Mayfield, every single time he was going out on the field, he constantly had to answer for Kansas City Chiefs touchdowns. So he was always down 14. He was always down 10. And it's really hard to rally when your defense cannot get one stop in the football game. And that's what the Kansas City Chiefs do to you. They just hit you with these runs. They're like the Golden State Warriors of the NFL. I mean, they are really, really remarkable. Yeah, Alex Smith for the Redskins. I already said that Alex Smith is going to probably be I said that Alex Smith and the Redskins are not going to make the playoffs because the Eagles are a better team than the Redskins. The Redskins are not making the playoffs. Well, Dak Prescott had Ezekiel Elliott, and Dak Prescott was a guy that would just utilize tight ends, and he would never throw the ball all over the field like this. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is making throws to Hill, to Kelsey. I mean, Dak Prescott was just a quarterback that was just a product of Ezekiel Elliott in that running game. He would just go play action fake. When you watch the talents of Mahomes, when you watch him get outside the pocket, I mean, that's what makes Mahomes so great. I think that Mahomes is spectacular. And I mean, out of college, it was very hard to predict how Mahomes would do in the NFL because, you know, when you're in that air raid system, you know, it's possible you could be like a Graham Harrell. You can be like a Case Keenum. It's very hard when you're throwing bubble screens every single play. It's hard to evaluate quarterback play when you're throwing those bubble screens. But Mahomes is able to throw with touch. And that's the thing that separates him, is that he knows when to turn up the heat, but he also knows when to, you know, throw with touch, and he plays within the offense. There is no real improvising from Mahomes. Everything is mapped out to him by Andy Reid, and Andy Reid is having one of the best coaching jobs that we've ever seen. And, you know, hopefully come playoff time, Andy Reid gets the respect he deserves by winning a championship. Yeah. And Big Chiefers, you're exactly right. Alex Smith is people talk about Alex Smith and they talk about how he wins 11 games, but Alex Smith is not a consistent player really at all. I know he had the big game against the Patriots, but in the middle of the season, Alex Smith really suffered last year and they limped into the playoffs. And then Alex Smith had a big first half against the Titans and he shriveled up in the second half. Alex Smith, even against the Falcons, was terrible. And the Redskins got laughed off the field. And the Redskins are going to miss the playoffs. I already have people telling me that the Redskins were going to win the NFC East. And now now after that Falcons game, a lot of them are now saying, well, the Eagles are going to win the NFC East. Alex Smith and Jay Gruden are not doing anything. Okay, you can bank on it. That's the reason why the Jets and the Jags suck as well. When you have shitty coaches, shitty quarterback play, you don't get anywhere. And the Redskins, Jay Gruden is as average of a coach as you're going to find, period. Carson Wentz and Doug Peterson run laps around the Washington Redskins. So when you have Andy Reid and Mahomes, that is where you catch lightning in a bottle. And people were Mahomes haters, but Mahomes, by sitting a year, by having that structure, that's why he's so damn good. And you look at Josh Allen in Buffalo, Josh Allen was another guy like Mahomes that, was kind of mysterious, had a big arm and everything. But the problem with Josh Allen is that he doesn't anticipate his reads as well. He doesn't have as much touch. And also Josh Allen is in one of the shittiest situations in the NFL. So, first off, I think Mahomes is better than Josh Allen, but the chances Josh Allen has a successful career in Buffalo with Sean McDermott and Brian Daboll, it's just not going to happen. I mean, Buffalo is a mess, and unfortunately, Brandon Beane just really, really, got it wrong. How you guys doing? Welcome into the chat. We are going to be releasing Insomnia Sports in a little bit. My friend Chris is on the live stream. I like doing these live shows every single week. Now I'm going to do a little rant on the Dallas Cowboys. And yep, Sam Darnold. Let's talk about Sam Darnold. Let's get my friend Ronaldo here. Let's get him Let's get Ronaldo fired up even more. Let's spark the freaking Ronaldo right now. Let's spark him up. And then we got good questions, Patriots and Titans. Okay. I don't believe in Sam Darnold at all. One, I don't believe in Sam Darnold because he can't make big throws down the field. Two, I don't even think he's as talented as Jared. He doesn't see defenders. He's very weak in the pocket. He doesn't really know how to move in the pocket. And also, he doesn't have the necessary velocity to be successful at the NFL level. He is going to be a big-time bust. He's the exact same player as Markelle Fultz. That's who he is, okay? Period. I'm not taking calls right now, but I'm going to be probably some other time I'll take calls. I'm just doing a live stream right now. Sam Darnold is Markelle Fultz. Everybody tells you how great Sam Darnold is. Everybody tells you, like Sam Darnold is a can't-miss prospect. But the New York Jets wanted Baker Mayfield. They did not want Sam Darnold. And the Jets are cowards to take Sam Darnold. Darnold has no leadership qualities. He's going to shrivel up, and he's going to have no career in the NFL. He's going to be exactly like Dak Prescott. He doesn't have any arm talent. And I doubt that he'll be Jared Goff. I sincerely, sincerely doubt it. Now, about Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is slow. Dak Prescott also doesn't have a lot of arm talent. Dak Prescott is indecisive, and his release is really slow. So Sam Darnold at least has a fast release. Dak Prescott has none of that. What Dak Prescott has is intangibles. He's a smart kid. He's a likable kid. He's a winner in terms of him making clutch plays at the end of the game. He's big. He's hard to bring down, but he is not a great NFL passer. He's not a great NFL quarterback. And that's when you look at Carson Wentz, you could see Carson Wentz can throw the ball for miles. Dak Prescott does not have that ability to anticipate, to go through reads, and he is a train wreck. Jason Garrett is the most mediocre coach in the NFL. I don't know why the Dallas Cowboys selected to keep Jason Garrett for a long, long time. So, boy, what I was going to say about Dak Prescott is I think that Dak is done. I think, though, that the Cowboys can possibly keep Garrett and try to tank for a quarterback in a couple of years. But, wow, a lot of people are actually agreeing with me. I think Nick Mullins might be better than Dak, as crazy as that sounds. But a guy I got to give credit to is Jared Goff. Jared Goff was out there making incredible throws against the Saints. Jared Goff actually was making 45-yard throws that were really, really surprising to me throughout that football game. And Jared Goff, I have to admit, has been very accurate. And surely Sean McVay has been a benefit to Jared Goff. But, if you're going to credit Andy Reid for Mahomes, you got to also say that Jared Goff has had a very successful season this year as well. And his ability to throw down the field is the most surprising thing. I think Jared Goff has very limited mobility. I don't think Jared Goff is great in the pocket. I don't think he has great pocket awareness, but Jared Goff is able to have a lot of time. He's able to make the right decisions, and he has been accurate in the intermediate passing game, and you got to give Jared Goff credit, and I was completely wrong on Jared Goff. I'll say that. So anyway, I think I answered a lot of your questions. I think that Mahomes is having the greatest season in the history of the NFL. He should win the MVP award. Patrick Mahomes is not going to get any better than he is right now. It's impossible. He's having a perfect season. Every game when you play the Kansas City Chiefs, your offense needs to go blow for blow. It's like you're playing college football and it's overtime, and you're going up against a machine that scores a touchdown every time, and you have to answer it. Baker Mayfield, every time he took hold of that football, when he punts the ball, you're punting it to death. You're literally punting the ball to death, because when you punt the ball, you know that the Chiefs are going to score a touchdown. And that's why Mahomes is engineering maybe the most unstoppable offense in the history of the NFL. And the people that, were down on Mahomes, I can understand why, because they thought he played at Texas Tech. They thought he was a gunslinger. He's not a gunslinger at all. He is very pragmatic in the way that he plays. He plays in a very disciplined way. Unlike Brett Favre, he is extremely disciplined in the way that he reads a defense. His understanding, he plays the quarterback in a very cerebral way. Even though the way he throws the ball might make you think that he's just out there improvising, there is not a lot of improvisation. There is a lot of structure to what Patrick Mahomes is doing. And Big Chiefers, you and I, exactly right. There was a reason why Alex Smith was let go, and this has been such an enjoyable season. This defense is getting better. Bob Sutton is now able to call aggressive defenses because of how good the offense is. But I am, if I had to lean one way or another, I am kind of giving up on Sam Darnold. So I would say that Darnold is probably going to be a failure in the NFL. Maybe Davis Webb will be better than Darnold. If I had to lean one way, I'd say that. But again, I don't want to rule it out. Maybe Sam Darnold will get a great offensive coordinator next year, and maybe he will be successful. But if I had to pick one way or another, I think Sam Darnold is not going to work out. I think Josh Rosen has a great chance to work out. I think Baker Mayfield can work out, and I don't think Josh Allen is going to work out either. I think Josh Allen has very inconsistent tendencies. I think Josh Allen does not read defenses that quickly. And I think that Josh Allen I don't think he's ever going to have the structure needed to be successful. And I'd be surprised if Darnold had the same reason to be successful. A couple more questions before I have to leave. I think Dwayne Haskins is a good thrower of the ball, but he's a little bit like Brissett in that he's too slow to play at the NFL level. He doesn't get through reads enough. I'm not going to say he's Cardale Jones at the NFL level, but the fact is he's very big. He's going to have to lose a lot of weight. Frankly, there's not a lot of immobile quarterbacks that are playing in the NFL anymore. So he just needs to get more pocket awareness, but I think he's about a third-round pick, and I think he's going to be groomed behind a Big Ben or somebody, probably a third-rounder. I mean, Davis Webb could be Jared Goff. They have very similar skill sets. I really think so. Anyway, thank you guys for tuning into the stream. I like doing these live streams. I like doing these quick hits with you guys, these 20-minute things. And Nathan, thank you so much for coming into the chat. Nathan Hill, a lot of people. I don't know why you would hate the Kansas City Chiefs. They're a pretty benign team, but if you're a Denver Broncos fan, then maybe so. I don't know if Case Keenum's the answer either. I think Vance Joseph's probably going to get fired. I think Bruce Arians can maybe go to the Cleveland Browns. I think that might be an exciting rumor. There's a lot of rumors going around in the NFL. Anyway, time to go. Thank you, guys. We'll have more exciting content coming up, some really exciting announcements to make about channel news. So I'll keep that for you guys on the other side. Thank you guys for stopping by. Quick stream. This is the way I like to do it. Take care. Have a good one.